One of the good things about walking in your heart is that you never have the burden of having to say, I don't know what to do. You never have to say that. Your heart knows what to do because Creator, God, knows what to do. So all you gotta do is listen. You gotta do what Ethan said. Get still. Get quiet. Forget about all this that's around you. Go to your heart. Say, show me what to do. I'm in a panic. Don't let me panic. Don't let me panic. Show me. Show me what to do, and then listen. Now I'm telling you, it's not like in Hollywood. All of a sudden there's this big light, and this big voice booms out and says, go west, young man. That's not going to happen. What you may get, however, is you may all of a sudden see the same bumper sticker all the time that says, practice Reiki on your pets. Oh, I can do that. Or you may see the same billboard all the time. Back in the day, which some of you that are more my age would remember, you might see Just Do It from the Nike commercial all the time. And say, oh, well, that's evidently my message. Or you may get a song in your head that tells you what to do, or reminds you of a time when you did what you did. Somebody may call you, maybe a person on the street. You don't know, but you have to be aware. And see, this is the tricky part. Spirit makes us work for the answers. Spirit really makes us work for the answers. You have to be able to recognize it. There's some of these things that are on church bulletins. I love reading them. It says, pray to God, but don't tell him how to answer. And that's what we do. We pray, and when we say, like when someone's sick, we always pray for them to get well, even though the person is really dying and really wants to get done with this dying and doesn't want to get well and is just wants to rest. We pray for, thank you for this opportunity, for these moments with this person while they're still here, and let me make them count. Pray in gratitude. And then we're given moments for that time, for the things we are grateful for. But you do stay connected at all times. It's always there for you. I don't know what else to say but that. When you live in your heart, like you said, you're lighter, you're easier, you're more peaceful. Because all the stress is gone. Why do you need any stress? You got the hotline. You got a direct line to all the answers. So why do you need to worry? In one of the Casey readings, it says, why worry when you can pray? When we worry, what are we saying? Well, God, you're pretty good, but I need to worry about this so this can get done. Now, I know you're out there, but if I worry, I can get it done. That's not so. When we worry, we're shutting down our connection to the heart. We're saying, God, you're not enough. I can handle this on my own. Until the natives have a saying that says, the person who prays at the beginning of a project is much different than the person who waits until the end to pray. The whole thing should be done walking in the Spirit. The whole thing should be done in gratitude and prayer and listening and knowing, no matter what it is you undertake. Most of all, raising children. Children are their own beings. Anybody who's raised a child knows you don't make anybody do anything too much unless they kind of agree with you on some level. I know my two boys taught me that, and I'm sure you taught your parents that as your children are teaching you or have taught you that, or you are amused as your children are trying to raise their children. And you see them learning this lesson. Creator must be very patient with us because we get stubborn and we don't want to listen. And we think we can do it all unassisted on our own. And then wonder why we end up with such a big mess. And that's really, I don't know if I've taken up my 20 minutes or not. I'm wrecking the whole schedule, but anyway.
Keep going.
That's what I wanted to say to you. I wanted to say to you, don't try to be something you're not. And if if you're around people that give you a hard time for what you are, find somebody else to be around. If you're in school, I remember one day in school, I was in the 6th grade, and back then we did physical fitness tests, so most of us were, out of breath all the time. So we were doing the physical fitness test, and everybody had divided up. And there was a group of kids over here and a group of kids over here. And I looked at the ones over there and I said, oh, they're really going to get in a lot of trouble when they grow up. I just know it, but they're so interesting. And I looked at these over here, and these were the, everything is perfect. I get straight A's. I wear the right clothes. I do this right. I'm in the in group. And I said, oh, look at them. But they're so boring. They're so predictable. I said, what do I do? I'm 11, doing this during the middle of a 600-yard run. What do I do? And I said, oh, that's what I do. I listen. You don't have to be part of any of them. Just be you. And when you want to see interesting things, be with the interesting people. And when you want to find out what to do to get up and along in the world, be with the boring people. But you can just be you and not worry about it. You don't have to be a part of anybody. And that's what I mean. If you listen like that, the answers will come to you, especially when it's urgent. As you're huffing and puffing along your 600 yards, when the end will ever come. I much prefer the 50-yard dash. That long thing is just beyond me. So, even in those times, all times, stay in your heart. Take the time to listen. It will not tell you anything that's wrong. However, we may misinterpret it. Because you go up here and say, oh, well, this is what it must mean. Best example I ever saw of that, I may go off topic a little bit, was when Jean Dixon, ages ago, was on the Today Show. And she looked at Jane Pauley, she said, you're going to have a baby. And Jane Pauley went, oh, and Brian Gumbel went, oh. However, 11 months later, John Power's wife had a baby. So clearly, Jean Dixon got the initials JP and assumed in her brain that was Jane Pauley. She saw what was going to happen, but she interpreted it. If she had just gone with what she got and said, JP is going to, somebody with initials JP is going to have a baby this year, and then they would all go, wow, she really is good, after John Power's wife had the baby. So interpreting can really bog you down. So you have to stay in your heart and trust. And that's the hardest thing for all of us, right? To trust. Because we can't see it. But we can feel it. You felt it when you were all lifting your hands up, sharing that love of the things that you really, really care about. That you felt it when you connected to the earth and you breathed in. It's there. You felt it. I don't need to tell you. You got chills up and down your back. Some of you are getting them again now just thinking about it, because I can feel it. So you know it's there. You don't have to see it. It's spirit. And some of you are lucky you can see it. But we don't have to. It's there. Trust it. Trust your heart. Trust who you are. Be who you are and nobody else. Thank you.